All right, what's up, y'all? I, all right, today's story, first story that's probably ever gonna go up is so one that I think y'all might actually quite like. So today's story is gonna be about the first time that I tried weed, and I guess I'll just start it off. So to give you a little bit of backstory, I started off my journey to smoke back in maybe July before my freshman year of high school. And I was watching a lot of YouTubers like Luna and Xcode and stuff like that. And I was like, you know what? I don't think weed's bad. I'd be pretty cool if I smoked it. And so I thought, you know what? All right, I'm gonna start trying to find weed. Once I start freshman year, I'm gonna start smoking weed because it seems like a fun pastime. And so I, while I was while I was dry, while I didn't have any weed, and I was still a fiend, didn't know what I was doing. I spent like days upon days researching all that info on weed and all that type of stuff. And I was an expert. I was like an actual scientist at this point. Um, but I didn't know what to do, and I really wanted to smoke something. So I started rolling up like wax papers full of oregano and trying to use steel wool and a battery to light it. That's how down bad I was to get high. I'm not even joking. It's pretty cringe looking back on it, but maybe I can save all that for a different time. Anyway, today's gonna be about the first time I actually smoked, and so I hit up my local guy. So this is maybe September. I first smoked in October. September, maybe I was planning stuff out with some of my friends, trying to figure out where we could go to smoke. Because at the time I was thinking, I might have a bowl or a joint or something. I ended up getting a cart, so I hit up my guy that I know that goes to my school that sells all that stuff, and I was like, "Hey, do you think I could get a bowl and like a gram to start off?" And I was broke. I was super broke, but I'd saved up a little bit of money, and since I couldn't work anything out to get actual bud, and it was also very risky, and I was gonna smell, and my parents would find out. I quit smoking, by the way. I don't know if I brought that up. I quit smoking in November, so I didn't last too long. But so I got the cart, and the way that I got this cart was me and my other friend both went to the weed plug, and we were like, all right, we're gonna call this friend John. So before I actually smoked, me and my other friend, who I'm gonna call uh I don't know, Aaron. All right, my friend Aaron. Me and him bought a cart from this sketchy kid on the football team at our school, and this kid's mom, or no, this we brought it to my other friend Johnny, and he was like, "All right, I'll figure out if it's legit." He brought it to like his mom or grandma or something that was like a weed smoker. She's like, "That's fake. Like that. Don't smoke that. That is super fake." And so we were like, "Damn it! All right, now we got to find something new." And I'd already spent a lot of my money giving Aaron this money to go buy this cart, and we didn't have a battery. So I was like, all right, well, can we just buy a battery? But he's like, you know what? We have disposables. I can't sell you a battery, but I'll sell you a disposable for 50. And so I split the cost with my other friend, what's his name? John, whatever. And this is where the story gets good. So I finally have this cart. He smoked half of it and then gave me the other half because, we split it 50-50. And I took this cart with me to school, and I brought it to some kids in my class, my geometry class, that I knew were smokers, and they were all like stoners and all that stuff. And they were like, all right, we're going to show you how to smoke it. So I went with my one friend to the bathroom, and he was like, all right, okay, so this is what you got to do, and basically just taught me how to do it. And he's like, he's kind of being sketchy, like he's waiting outside the bathroom, looking out, which he really didn't need to do. Except it was good because he kept me from like getting caught or whatever. Um, and so I'm trying to smoke it, but like when I come back to class after hitting it a few times, I can't feel high. Like I feel like kind of calm. That's it. And I'm like, no. Like, am I one of those people that just can't get high? And so I'm freaking out. I'm like, damn it. Like, if I can't get high, this ruins everything I've been planning. Like, I just want to, have something fun to do. And it just wasn't kicking in. So my friends are like, all right, wait till lunch. And this class, our third period class, we go to lunch in between periods, or we go to lunch in between the period. And my lunch was right after like 2/3 of the classes passed. So I go with them, and instead of going to lunch, we all go in a group. We walk up to this bathroom at the end of the hall, past the gym. At this time, there was no teacher watching that bathroom. Now they have a teacher watching that bathroom, which sucks. But they took me in the bathroom, and they were like, "Okay, here, you're gonna need to hit this for 8 seconds." They were passing around their cart, and I had mine, and I was like, "Okay." And so I'm counting up slow seconds in my head. I take a deep breath or whatever, and I start breathing it in, inhaling all that, and then randomly after what I thought was like 8 seconds, they're like, "Stop, stop, stop!" They're freaking out, and I'm like, What's wrong?" So I pull it out of my mouth, and I swear to you, this giant this giant cloud comes out of my mouth. It's got to be fills up the stall. We were in the handicap stall, the big stall, dude, and it fills up the stall. That's an exaggeration, but it's huge, okay? And I'm like, oh my God, did I just do that? But then I start coughing, and I'm like, oh, okay, just a little coughing. You got to cough to get off. It's whatever. And I start coughing more, and at this point, I'm having a coughing fit. Like, my face is red. I'm like hacking coughing real bad, and I gave my cart to my friends, but they're like freaking out. They're not even smoking it. They're just looking at me. I'm coughing my damn lungs out, dude. And I started leaning over the toilet because I feel like I'm retching, like I'm about to throw up, and I'm like spitting in the toilet and all that, and it for like 5 minutes straight. I was coughing my lungs out. I was making so much noise. I was surprised nobody fucking busted in and caught us. But I eventually, calmed down. My friend has like some Gatorade or something, and I'm sipping his Gatorade, trying to chill out. My other friend hit my cart. It just turns out it was like a super, super strong cart, which, stroked my ego a little bit because I'm like, yeah, I got that good stuff, man. But I think it was like a 1.5 gram cart or something. It doesn't matter. But so I'm coughing my lungs up, and I'm just sipping on this Gatorade, starting to calm down. I'm washing my face off with water at the sink. My friends are passing around. My other friend hits it. He starts having the same coughing fit, not as bad as I did. But I'm like, my face is starting to feel warm, and I'm like, okay, something's different. I can't tell what's different, but something's different. And, I was high. I guess the shit they say, you gotta cough to get off, I guess it's true. So I finish, I was hacking my lungs out for so long, but it was worth it, okay? And once everyone's done passing it around, we were so sketchy, dude. We walked out of the bathroom all together, fucking giggling, walking down the hall to the lunchroom, all walking it in a line. And I go and I get my lunch, and I'm like smiling, all giggly. And my friends were like, "Where the fuck were you?" Cause they knew that I was like trying to smoke, and I'd gotten a cart, and they're like, "Were you doing that?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I was." And it was me and my other two friends, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm super high right now." And I remember this distinctly. I had like a crappy barbecue pulled pork sandwich on a whole wheat bun, and my friend was like, "Well, you know what they say about munchies?" And I'm like, "Yes, yes, I do." And I'm like, "I am in fact very hungry for this right now." And so I take my first bite of this pulled pork sandwich, which on regular standards I would have just threw in the trash. Not actually, I'm like a fat bitch. Would have ate it all, but I take my first bite, and I'm like, oh my God, this was so worth it. I can taste all the ingredients in the barbecue sauce they put in there. I can taste like the fucking, I don't know, the part of the pig that the meat came from, dude. It was insane. And I was like, this is my shit. Like, I need to do this more often. Um, that sounds so cringe. Dude, okay, so I enjoyed the fuck out of this sandwich. I was asking all my friends for their food. I think I also got like chocolate milk and some I don't know. But I finish lunch and I go and I hang out with my other friends after I finish eating at my table with my other group of friends, and they can they can tell, like they're like, okay, yeah, all right, you're high, and I'm like, yep, and my one friend has these like buffalo chicken, it was like some buffalo chicken thing, and I'm like, give that shit to me right now, and like I ate it up, dude. It was amazing. Story doesn't end there. I go back to class. Okay, I'm back at my class. For the last 30 minutes of the class, we didn't have anything to do, so my friends are like, "All right, here, just sit at your table, listen to some music, or whatever." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, all right, this is gonna be fun as fuck." So I turn on some Trippy Red. I remember I was listening to like Uka Uka. I think it was my favorite song to listen to while I was high. And I just sat there and I listened to it, and I was like in heaven for a while. And my friends were like, "Stop giggling," because I was when I wasn't listening to music, I was talking to them and I was giggling, and they're like, "They're gonna know you're high. Stop giggling." I'm pretty sure my teachers knew I was high, but I don't really think that they cared. These teachers were like super chill for the most part. Um, but yeah, so yeah, they definitely knew I was high. But I got through that class. I remember because I was smoking a cart. The feeling of the high is different. I have never actually smoked actual bud. I probably won't considering I don't smoke anymore. But the feeling of a cart is like this head high type of thing, where what it felt like for me, I don't really remember the feeling that well because it was a long time ago at this point. It's like you remember the current 30 seconds as your life. The past 30 seconds seem like forever ago, like a lifetime ago. And it feels like you can predict the future. At least that's what it felt like for me. And everything is like 10 times more interesting, but you're also like off in your little world. And yeah, and so I go to my next class, which is like this special class for gifted kids or whatever. It's a super advanced English class. And I couldn't pay attention to shit. I think we were learning about fucking the Mongols or something. But I it was like a history English combo, but I couldn't focus. I was lost in my own little world, thinking about like the girl I liked and like all this shit. Girl I liked, I ended up dating in the future. She's actually the one that helped me quit smoking. That's all a different story time. But yeah, so that was my first experience high. I did it a lot for a while after that, and it was cool. But I'll save all those stories for another time. This is running on way longer than I anticipated. Anyway, if this is up on YouTube, I don't know if it will be. Probably will be. Enjoy. Leave a like or whatever the fuck you want to do. It's up to you. And let me know what you thought. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.